Simple cooking, simple cooking channel.
Right, this is really easy. For this, just get a square baking tin and a round baking tin and just bake a cake. Now you can just look at lots of my other cakes and choose a recipe. I've just made a basic chocolate cake. You just take it out of here, put it at this angle so it's like a diamond. Now I just put some frosting, icing, whatever, all over the top. Now for this you can use M&Ms, Skittles, Smarties, whatever. Place them wherever you want. Oh yeah. There you go. Really easy. Just a square cake, circular cake, put it together like that and just put M&Ms, Skittles, Smarties, whatever on it like that, and you get this awesome giant heart cake where you didn't even need a mold for it. Okay, get a mixer and mixing bowl and put in 2 egg whites. Now you want to whisk this or beat this until the egg white becomes foamy, sort of fluffy and foamy. What you're going to need now is some rose petals. You can have any colour you like and just peel them off. So you can use any type, organic preferably. And now we'll get to the next part. Now, just pick one up. You can either pick it up with your fingers, or if you want, just hold it in something little like that. Get this. Get a pastry brush or just some sort of brush and just brush it straight over it. Yum. Both sides. And you can sprinkle some powdered sugar over it. And once you've done that, you want to put this on something like a wired rack or something that's basically non-stick. We don't want it to stick to it. Just leave these here to dry. Could take 6 hours. Lovely. Ready to be eaten. I'll get a mixer, stand mixer or a hand mixer or something, and put in about 20 grams of unflavoured gelatin or gelatine. Now the one I buy is going to look like this, and these are 10-gram packs, so use 2. Then add 1/4 cup of boiling water. Add 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract or vanilla essence. Just a pinch of salt. Then add 2 teaspoons of corn syrup or glucose syrup. Just put on your whisk attachment, or if you're just using a hand mixer, just whisk this until the gelatin dissolves. Now what we want is icing sugar, which I think it's also called pure sugar or confectionery sugar. Now you're going to need about 4 cups. So you want to put in about 1 cup at a time. So we'll sort of roughly add about a cup. Then if you have a mixer like this, you want to put the paddle on, or this anyway. With a hand mixer, just mix on low to low medium. So just light mixing. Just keep adding more and more of the sugar. So So what we want out of this is we want this to make a stiff, sticky, sort of dough-like consistency. Just lift this up, and as you can see, this is quite stiff and sticky, and that is exactly what we want. Now get a clean board that you can knead on, and take the mixture out. Now it should be quite sticky, but reasonably tough, and that's exactly what we're hoping for. This is perfect consistency. Now what we want to do is knead this. So it's basically pushing forward, going back on itself, pushing it over, pushing. Now this is a bit sticky now, but what you want to do now is add a bit at a time some more of the confectionery sugar or icing sugar to it. So what we do is just get some of the sugar, you can sprinkle it on it, in front of it, doesn't really matter, dip your fingers in it, and start squashing away. Just knead it. Now we just want to break this up into 3 or 4 pieces depending on how many colours you want to make. So we'll just cut it up into maybe 4 pieces. Now we do this to each piece. You want to put some whatever colours you're going to use, red, so just put in 3 or 4 drops of that, and if you want just a tiny little drop of whatever flavour you want. Vanilla, I'm using vanilla for this piece. Now you want to fold it over and just knead it so the colour evenly distributed, and that won't take too long. Well, once you've kneaded it, then you might want to add a little bit of sugar to it just to get the consistency. It just depends. You just get a rolling pin and flatten it a little bit so it's probably about the size of about that thick, about anywhere from ½ centimetre to 1 centimetre. Now you just get a cutter, like a cookie cutter or something in the shape of a heart. If you're talented enough to cut it by hand, go for it. Lovely. And then we just want to put it on a baking tray that's been greased, has baking paper or something that it will not stick to. Alright, just leave them like this. Put them somewhere that's not in the way. So you want these to sit for about 24 hours. Halfway around, turn them over after about 12 hours. Alright, so these are ready. They've been sitting for 24 hours. Now time has come to write on them. Now for this, get little pens like this, which is it's food colouring, so you can write on it and it's edible. So you put little things like little messages, little crosses and hearts or hugs, so just write straight on it. And just write different messages or symbols on the hearts with as many colours as you wish. And there you go. Just write whatever you want, any little messages you want to put on there, and these are really cute. Get a saucepan, put in 3 tablespoons of water, a pinch of salt, and 1/3 of a cup of sugar, granulated sugar, so white sugar, caster sugar, whatever, and just leave it there. We don't want to stir or anything, so just wait for a minute, just wait for the mixture to come to the boil. Then we're going to reduce the heat and simmer. Now we need to watch this closely though and wait until the granules, the sugar granules, have dissolved. Don't touch the sugar because crystals will form and the sugar will crack. So now that it's boiling, turn it down to low, let it simmer, and just watch it. And wait for all the granules to have dissolved. All the sugar granules have dissolved. Turn it off and remove this from the heat. Now add 2 tablespoons of butter. And with a wire whisk this in until it's combined and nice and smooth. Now you add 1/4 of a cup of cocoa powder, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla essence, and this part is optional, but if you want you can add 1/2 teaspoon to a teaspoon of alcohol. I've chosen whiskey, you can choose rum or whatever your favourite alcohol is, just to give it that extra little kick of flavour. Now just whisk this in until it's well combined. Yum yum. Now just get a glass or a mug or some sort of container you can pour this into. Just pour it straight in. And you are ready to paint. Just make sure it's not too hot, unless that's your thing. Get a cocktail mixer, put in about 1/4 cup or so of ice, add 30 ml of Frangelico, 15 ml of strawberry liqueur, strawberry schnapps will be fine, 15 ml of Galliano, 10 ml of Midori, and 45 ml of cream. Thickened cream, heavy cream, whipping cream. It's all good. Just put on the attachments and shake. Now just pour it in into a regular size martini glass. Just garnish with half a strawberry. Yum yum yum. Get a small to medium saucepan, chuck in about 2 tablespoons of butter. Now we just want to melt this butter. Once it's melted, we'll get on to the next part. Now the butter is melted, get some plain flour and just put it in there. Now there's no specific amount of plain flour to put in there. Just keep adding it until this becomes thick. Alright, excellent. So this needs to be creamy. So just keep adding a bit of milk until you get that consistency. Turn the heat off and just set this aside just to let it cool a little bit. Just get a dozen oysters, put them on a tray because we're going to put this in the oven once we've put the Mornay on it. So just spoon all that into each one and just put a little bit of cheese on top of each one. Now just either pop these in the oven on 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit on the top shelf for 5 to 10 minutes, or just grill these for about 2 to 3 minutes. Alrighty then, these are ready. Now you can just serve them up as an entree, as an accompaniment to your meal. So you can just let these cool for 5 or 10 minutes and then serve, or eat as is. Super hot and super yummy. Now get your roses. You can use just white flowers if you want, but it's more spectacular with a white rose. So you just want to get this and cut it with something on an angle. So it's like that. So more of the water and the colour will go up. So you've got it cut like that. That sort of angle. And do that with as many roses as you wish to do this for. Now you want to have a tray if you can, just so we don't want any of the colour to spill. Unlikely that it will, but just in case. Get any type of glass. I'm using tall glasses just so it's stable. You can use short glasses or petri dish, but then you're going to want to have the stems either shorter or you're going to want to have to tie them together and balance them. Now, get some water. Doesn't have to be much, just fill it so it's a couple of centimeters. Now you're going to want to put food colouring. Now, how much you put in is up to you. I usually want to put in about 30 or 40 drops. Now, just so you know, food colouring does not hurt the flowers. Now all you need to do is leave these here and the colour will start to come through the petals. It depends really on how long the stems are, how much food colouring is in there, how quickly they drink. Could take 3-4 hours, could take 10, could take a whole day, might only take an hour or two. If you want to put multiple, to 2 or 3 in each one, go for it so you've got a nice bunch. Alrighty, that's just after 1 hour and you can see the colour starting to come through. Now with 2 hours in, as you can see, it's starting to look really cool. This is what they look like after 3 hours. We'll see what it looks like in the morning. Here they are the following morning. Yeah! As you can see, it's very, very simple. Buy some sort of biscuits that you like, whether it's graham crackers, something that's a bit sweet. Put them in a plastic bag and beat the living crap out of them until they're nice and crummy. Alright, they're done. Now get a large bowl to put this in and we'll get on to the next part. Pour that in there. Now you're looking at about 250 grams here. Now this is going to be more than enough, but I like to have extra to make more and more. Now add ground cinnamon, about a tablespoon, and 50 to 60 grams of melted butter, and stir this in. I want this to be mixed well so we've got a nice crumb base. Now get your plant pot holders, make sure they're brand new or ones you only would ever use for cooking in, so they've got to have no holes in the bottom. Now put in as much as you want, maybe about an inch, 3/4 of an inch to an inch, and get something to squash it down. So I like to use the bottom of a glass, so that makes it nice and flat and compact. Do that with each one and then put this in the fridge for about 20 to 30 minutes. Now get a large mixing bowl and throw in 250 grams of cream cheese, room temperature preferably. Then add about 1 tablespoon of vanilla essence, 2 tablespoons of milk, and 6 tablespoons of caster sugar, white sugar or fine sugar. Now just mix this until it's creamy. Perfect. In a separate mixing bowl, get some thickened cream, stuff that you can whip, and put in 350 mils and beat this until it's soft, until it's basically peaked and thick and yum. Alright, that's ready. Now put in half of the whipped cream in with this mixture and fold it in. Now get the remaining half, put that in it, and fold that in. This is going to be the greatest trick and treat dessert in the history of today. Take your flour poops, take your flour pops, take your flour pots out of the fridge and scoop in into each one the beautiful creamy cheesecake mixture. Now do that with each one and then put in the fridge for 15 minutes. While those are in the fridge, get about 2 dozen Oreos, break them apart, take the center out, put them in a plastic bag and beat them. Like, just crush them till they're nice fine powder. And this is going to be the topping that's going to look like dirt in your flour pot. And there we have our Oreo dirt. Now just transfer the Oreo crumb mix to a bowl. Now get about 25 to 30 grams of butter and melt it. Just add the melted butter and stir that in. Alright, get your flour pot, get a straw, maybe a green one, sort of looks like a stem, and just stick that in there. Then get the Oreos that looks like dirt and spread it around it. This is really cool and a lot of fun. Now just repeat that for all of them. Put it in the fridge for about 20 minutes. Now if you're lucky enough to have some flowers in your garden that are blooming, cut them off and just stick them in there like that. Get a microwave safe bowl, chuck in 180 grams of white chocolate, then add 300 mils of thickened cream. Oh yeah. Now pop this in the microwave on high for 30 seconds, then give it a stir, then pop it back in on high for 30 seconds and give it another stir, and repeat that process until it is completely melted and combined, but do not burn it. Alright, that is ready. Lovely. Look at that, silky smooth. Now just set this aside for about 10 minutes, just let it cool enough, and we'll get on to the next part. Now get 3 eggs and separate them, and we want to beat the egg whites until soft peaks form. You can add it slowly, but I usually just add it all at once. There you go, lovely. You basically got a meringue there. Now just get a little bit of... Alright, that's soft peaks. Now get a 1/4 cup of icing sugar or confectionery sugar, food colouring. I've put in pink, you can add red, get you through it. Lovely. What the hell? Now just get the 3 egg yolks, pour them in there. Just stir that through. Now just get about 1/4 of the egg whites and just fold this through. Once this is sort of folded through, we'll put the rest in and fold that through. It's just a good way to get the consistency working by not throwing everything in one go. Oh, this is going to be so yummy. Holy moly. Mother in a bowlie. Now just get some cups, glasses, ramekins, bowls, whatever you want to put this in. Pour it straight in. Oh, yum. Once you've filled all your glasses up, put it in the fridge and let it set. Basically overnight is preferable, but 4 to 6 hours should be enough, or at least until the tops are firm and you're good to go. Now those have set, you just eat as is, or you can garnish with a rose petal or something just to make it a little interesting. Now get a mug and put in 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour or plain flour. 2 tablespoons of sugar, half a teaspoon of baking powder. Give this a little stir. Then get half an egg. So what you want is put the whole egg in, mix it and pour out half of it. Then add 1 heaped tablespoon of strawberry yogurt. 1 teaspoon of oil, then 1/4 teaspoon of oil, half a teaspoon of vanilla essence. Now mix this together. Now pop this in the microwave for about 2 minutes. Alrighty then, now just whip some cream up. Dollop it wherever you wish. Cut up some strawberries.
Simple